Welcome to the Daily Dish with Leanne Ely. This is a show about you, your life, and the vibrancy you want. Join us for daily motivation, wise women's tips, and more as we collectively gather together and move the needle in our lives, heart, mind, body, and soul. Now, here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Yes, it's that time, everyone. Welcome to Transformational Tip Tuesday. Who's in the house? Listen, we are in the weeds this whole week about deliberate creation. Deliberate creation. It's a thing. It is a thing. And I'm going to tell you right now that deliberate creation is something that every single person does, whether you know it or not. We just do. Hey, Sarah. Good to have you here. Nancy, Tracy, Flynn, Denise. Everyone's here. Here they all come. Catherine's here. Diane is here. Flynn and Amber and Jenny and Lindsay, of course, in the house. Does the dream team travel in a big circle? Yes, we do. Hi, Ellen. I'm glad you're here. Jackie, Alice, Diane, Kathy. Good heavens, look at us all. So where are my Hot Melt 30 ladies? I'd love to see some pinkies and some hashtags. Can I just put it out there? Because I live for it. Hey, Tracy is in the house. And speaking of, it's never too late to get on board with the Hot Melt 30. After today's show, I think you're going to want to really get on this train because I've got some really juicy stuff to tell you all about. It's savingdinner.com/30 THIRTY if you're not familiar. Hi, Gracie, Joanne. Glad you're here. We are going to have some kind of fun today. I'm not kidding. We are going to have some kind of fun today. You know, it's interesting how easily we slip into that old subconscious way of doing things where, you know, everything is we just do. And we're not even thinking about what we're exactly doing. We're not even applying these things to our lives. We just go through the motions. And that's no way to live, right? Am I right? Where's Nancy? There she is. Cheers, Nancy. I didn't have a chance to go get a wine glass, so I've got my Hot Milk 30 in a cup. I mean, it works, right? It's a vessel. So cheers to everyone. Hot Milk 30 is how we get our electrolytes and stay in ketosis. This is hot milk mix that we make it from. And this is my routine and Nancy's so that we stay doing it. It's something, it hydrates above and beyond. That's all. And it just makes all the difference in the whole entire world. Let me tell you a couple of other things. First of all, we have a quote from Elon Musk. When something is important enough, you do it, even if the odds aren't in your favor. And just wait till you hear today's show. This is exactly what we're talking about because there's the comfort zone and then there's the other place. We're going to talk about the other place today because the other place is super important. Jocelyn, Autumn, Juanita, I'm so glad you're here. Lynn, hello. Look at all you lovelies. Tracy, I'm so glad you're all here. You know, I love having a party. Corliss, look at my girl Corliss. Anyway, so Transformational Tip Tuesday, you know, it's a thing. And this is the place today. I was telling Jenny, I had a pink shirt that I was going to be wearing. I was also had curlers on to do my hair and I got lost down the rabbit hole. Anybody, has that ever happened to you at all? Hey, Julie, Mimi, Lisa, hello. Has that ever happened to you where you just fall down that rabbit hole and you're just sucked in? I mean, this really grabbed me because it's stuff I needed to learn for myself. Martha's in the house. And anyway, so I'm can you see, I'm just preparing the way for you. I want you to really get this. I also want you to start getting our text messages. Hello, our text messages are going to light you up. Who loved our text message for today? Was that just great? Check it out. All you have to do is send a text message to this phone number, 855-960-3720. Text the word join all in caps and you'll be added to our list, but not until you reply back yes to confirm your subscription. Just read the prompt, read the screen. We'll send you an immediate reply back. And you have to reply, yes, do it all in caps. Mimi loves the text messages. Yay, so do I. Jane's in the house. All right, so what else do I have to tell you? Q&A is on Friday. Send your questions in by Thursday. Can you do that for me? Super easy. It's an email. support@savingdinner.com is the email address. In the subject line, put question for Leanne on Friday, and then fire away. I want to help you. I believe there was a text today. Nobody loves the text as much as me. Ha ha ha. I think there was a text today. Wasn't there a text today? If there wasn't a text today, it was yesterday or whatever. It's coming. The text was yesterday. See, I'm just late to the party. I get my texts at funny times. I don't know. I have Sprint, so maybe that's part of the problem. Ooh. Unless you live in North Carolina. There you go. Yeah, I mean, we are just, or where I live anyway, it's just funny like that. Mark hit a deer. Did I tell you all this? Yeah, yesterday. It was the Easter menu. I know. Wasn't that just lovely? We give away all kinds of fun stuff, and we have all kinds of fun deals. That's why I'm saying get on it. Let me tell you this. Mark hit a deer. This is the second time in 2 years. So he's out getting the car towed, getting a rental car, and this whole bit. Took out the whole front quarter panel of our car. Second time in 2 years. So that has just been adding interest, shall we say, to life. Mark is fine. He's fine. He came home sheepishly saying, "You're not going to believe what happened." Because my car, his car, when he hit a deer, it totaled the car. And now we're down to one car. So he is totally fine, y'all. We are fortunate we have an SUV. I will never not have an SUV, especially after this, and especially around here with deer, because that deer, it flew up and it hit part of the thing. I mean, it could fly up and hit you in the windshield and kill you. That's one of the reasons why I love having an SUV. So we have an SUV, but the front quarter panel gone, and he's dealing with all of that. So anyway, yes, of course he's okay. If he wasn't okay, I'd be on here crying and asking you for prayers. He's fine. But just come on, dear, stay away. Yeah, if it comes through the windshield, you're pretty much a goner. That happened to me. I had a Volkswagen Rabbit convertible. Remember those? 1982 was my first brand new car. Driving to Alta to go skiing in Utah, and I hit a deer, and that deer came boom right up on the car and almost went through the windshield, made the windshield curve like this. That could have killed me. Blood all over the car. It looked like a massacre. So strong suggestion, if you live in deer country, go get a car that's a little further up off the ground so that it's not going to come through your windshield. Supplement of the week. By the way, I am taking this like crazy right now. I will tell you why. Do I have a story for you for everything? Here we go. Anyway, it's buy 3, get 1 free for InfoCrusher, you guys. I can't believe how many people ordered it yesterday. Get on it, because when supplies are gone, we're going to have to back order it. Get on it now. savingdinner.com/show. Buy 3, get 1 free. Screaming deal. InfoCrusher is fixing my knee. So last week, Jenny remembers this. I said, I think I overdid it a little bit today. I got to take a shower. I got to eat something. I'm a mess. And it was just, I was doing, how you feel like you're in the zone, you're doing so well. And then you just like, well, let's just push a little harder here. And I've come to this great realization that just because we think we can doesn't mean that we can. And yes, while I don't believe that age should be a barrier, it should also be honored, right? And I just did a little extra, did a little bit too much, and my little knee is crying out. My knee is just, taking that squat to the potty, it's just my knee went, blah, and I'm screaming in the bathroom. Mark's like, "What's up with you?" It was that. So I have been taking 2 InfoCrusher every hour, and guess what? All good in the hood. The pain I can still feel it, but it's nothing like it was. That hot burning ACL pain, that's what I have. And I felt it skiing too. So I'm going to baby it a little bit, wrap it up, do some ice, all that, and just really hope and pray that everything gets fixed. Last thing I want is anything going on with that. We also, the other thing that I want to tell you about right now, and this is important, is full bloom. It's coming up on April 23rd. Do you realize that that's only 11 days away? And this year we're talking about making magic and how this is the key and the path to your own purpose and your own vibrancy. I'll just tell you, it's what you want. Savingdinner.com/bloom to go get your tickets. The swag bag itself is just off the hook. And I am just so thrilled and excited about this. I get goose bumply, pimply, whatever. Mimi says she's already ordered full bloom. Of course you have. Yay. No, swag bags will not go out yet. We are getting ready to order them, and it's going to depend. It's going to depend on how many we can possibly do. How many people we need to, because I'm not going to order a whole bunch of stuff that I have to then store. Anyway, let's see here. All right. But I wanted, I want to make sure that, you're on top of getting your ticket. Get your ticket. There's a VIP meet and greet. There's all kinds of stuff. You'll see, go to savingdinner.com/bloom and go get it. Get on it. Bring a friend, whatever. It's all virtual. It's easy. And then we're going to do a in-person one in July 29th, 30th. You're going to just want to get your reservations made for flights and what have you. Asheville Airport is our closest airport. And there's some other regional airports as well. And just get your Airbnb, your hotel or whatever. We are a hot spot in the summer. Teeny tiny town. We have only 8,000 people here. But then in the summer, bada bing, we go to 30,000 folks, right? Yay, Peggy. She's got hers already. I love it. So did Joanne. Smart women, go get your tickets. Good grief. What are you waiting for? savingdinner.com/bloom. And by the way, don't forget that you can help us really knock it out of the park with TikTok. Go follow us at Saving Dinner on TikTok. Because we're putting a lot of effort into these videos, and not a lot of people are seeing them, which makes my little heart sad, because we want to hit it big. I believe that our community is about to expand in a big, big way. Hold that thought for me. Will you hold the space for me on all of this? I feel like there's so many women who feel like they're not seen, that they're invisible to the world, and that their needs just aren't being met. And I feel like our community is one of the very few, the rarest of rare breeds, where we connect heart to heart and we make it our business to do so. And all of you that I'm watching here, I know all of you, each one of you. I know your face, I know what you're about, and I know how you love on each other and support and encourage one another. And I don't want one single woman to miss out on that, because life's hard enough without having the network of support that we need. Am I right? Do you think I'm right about that? Of course I am. Of course you are. I'm going to put full bloom expansion on your vision board. Yes, bring them in. Yes, thank you for that, Sarah. I love that. I mean, I finally just decided I'm just going to share this with you. I have a vision. I have a big, big vision for this community. And I had somebody speak into my life and just said that we had a rare gift with certain things. And I just believe with all of my heart that this seed that we've planted and the way that we're growing and the way that we love is the thing that this is what people are looking for. This is what the women, and you know who they are. We see them every single day. And I see women on the street or in the grocery store, and sorry for just getting carried away here, but I think it's important. And I look at them and I think everyone's got a story. And a lot of these women feel like their stories have never been heard. They feel hurt. They feel withdrawn. They like disappearing into the woodwork. And what a depressing way to live your life. And I want to bring women out and let them see their full potential and let them see that they have purpose in this life. I want them to see the magic that they have and that they possess that they need to share. I want them to know that there is a big, beautiful, warm, glowing vibrancy inside of them that just needs releasing. That's what I'm about. So hold space for that, would you? Because I believe with all of my heart that as we put our energy toward this common goal, that we're going to see that. And you are the instigators of that too. Thank you for that. So this week, speaking of, we're talking about deliberate creation. And I'm just telling you how I deliberately want to create this community in such a way. And I also have to bring you to this place of, if we're going to get to this place of deliberate creation, then we need to be in the place of deliberate practice. And I love the word deliberate, because the word deliberate means that it's intentional. We've done it on purpose. It isn't just accidental. It is very well planned out. It's thought out, and it's on purpose, right? Yes, on purpose. Nancy, I know all about that. You showed me that picture and it just lit me up. So yeah, there you go. A goal, by the way, sidebar, a goal would be that we would not be able to do it here. We'd have to do it at the community center with hundreds of women. So there you go. Just giving it to you in July. Hi, Angie. So we talked about the whole notion of deliberate creation yesterday, and how our thoughts spark that actual creation. And how we have to be careful about what those thoughts are, because those thoughts can build something fabulous and wonderful that we really, really want, or those thoughts can bring us down and create the thing that we've dreaded and don't want in our lives, simply because that's where the focus is. That's what we acknowledged. So we have to acknowledge this is an incredible power that our thoughts hold. That's how they work. And ultimately, those are the genesis of the life you create, because nothing is created without having a thought first. It's the seed. It's the seed. So to get to the place of actual deliberate creation, it's important to address the need for actual deliberate practice, right? Actual deliberate practice. And deliberate practice is what creates greatness. Greatness. We've seen this, and we've talked about these Olympic athletes. We've talked about our very favorite person, Diana Nyad, and just what an amazing athlete she was. That deliberate creation that she made happen, that goal that she managed to own and have and accomplish, all because of the deliberate practice that she put in to making it happen. She found a way. That was her mantra, but her mantra also was every single day to find a way. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to go out there and do it and hope for the best. Oh, fingers crossed. Let's just put some goop on and hope the sharks don't bite or the stingrays don't sting or whatever it is. She deliberately practiced, and she put a lot of thought into it. She made it happen. Now, lest you think that I think everything needs to be made with deliberate practice, I'm talking about actual great big hairy goals, BHAGs, that require deliberate practice to get to deliberate creation. That's what I'm talking about. Because this kind of intensity we can't execute on a daily basis with everything that we do. I mean, some things just need, you need to go out and clean a toilet without having to think, I now have a deliberate practice of toilet cleaning. Forget about it. You have a regular routine to clean your toilet, I hope, but you don't have to have a deliberate practice. There's a big night and day difference between these two things. So that's what we're talking about. So just remember that athletes never shoot from the hip. Athletes have a big, hairy, audacious goal. That's what BHAG stands for. Big, hairy, audacious goal. They start there because that's foundational before you can do anything else, before you can get anything else started. They need a plan to get there, because you're never this close. You're always far apart, because a big, hairy, audacious goal, that takes some doing. It's a lot. It's not just something. It's not, losing a couple pounds. It's losing 100. It's not doing an Olympic swim. It's doing many swims to get to the Olympics so that you can do an Olympic swim. It's big stuff. It is big stuff. And, all this week, as much as I can, I'm going to be using the Hot Melt 30 as my example, because I think I need to explain what the hot melt 30 is just a little bit better and why it's such a needle mover. And also, it all fits into what we're talking about with this deliberate creation. Okay. So here we go. Number two is you need a plan to get there. Of course you do. Of course you need a plan to get there. It's not usually just step by step by step. It's step, analyze, take a breather, reanalyze, and make a new step, make a new plan, revision, and create better, and all of the rest, because that is how it is done. In order to make a plan the best that it can possibly be, it has to be scrutinized, every single little detail, okay? Because that's what we do along the way. That's if we are on this path to having, let's say you have a big goal for your 30-day, your hot melt 30. Let's say you're saying, I'd like to see 20 pounds gone by that amount of time, or 10 pounds, or 15, whatever. It needs to be intentional. It needs to be deliberately practiced on a daily basis to get to that deliberate creation. And it needs to be analyzed, because if things aren't going right along and you're in flow, you have to analyze it every day. Did I get my hydration in? Did I get my sleep in? Are Oreos on the plan? If not, maybe I'm going to need to take them off of there. You know what I'm saying. But that that analysis is not so that you can be perfect. It's so that you can be excellent. And it's so that you can make it happen for yourself. That's all. You make it happen for yourself when you are deliberately into every single one of those details. And that is not perfectionism. That's keen interest and curiosity. How am I doing? Am I doing this the best to my ability? Nothing wrong with that. Number three is you need to be consistent and deliberate, because this is focus practice. Now, some things are rote. Some things are just down. Like if you are going to run, like Jane does. Jane's a runner. When she runs, there's some rote things that she does in order to get out there and run. There's certain stretches that she does. But if she were going to say, and today I'm going to break my record of whatever, then she's going to get a little bit, she's going to do her rote stretches, but she's going to do things a little bit different in a run. Maybe she's going to go up a few hills. Maybe she's going to go running, and she's going to be coming here, right? In July, aren't you, Jane? And she's going to be doing some stairs so she can hit the stairs hard when she comes here. There are things that we do deliberately practice in order to create the next step to the goal, to get to the big, hairy, audacious goal. Does that make sense? And consistency and deliberately, it's just how it's done. And doesn't it feel so good to be consistent? Doesn't it feel so good to be deliberate? Doesn't it feel so good to be on plan and keep going? Yeah, it's a big win. And every day we need to be celebrating those wins, every day writing them down, every day bragging about them, That doesn't make you a bragger. That just makes you a woman who is saying yes to yourself. That's affirming and confirming what it is that you want. You're high-fiving yourself. Yeah, make it happen. Number 4 is challenges. We have to hit our challenges. It is not enough to keep doing the same thing over and over again. You know what that is? That's a comfort zone. It's a comfort zone. And you know what comfort zones do? They're traps. So while we may have something down pat, we can go to the next place and go to the next level by pushing it just a little bit harder. Not to the place where you're going to have your knee cry out in pain, but to the place where you're saying, I've never done this before, but let's just see what we can do here. All the while honoring your body, all the while honoring, your capacity, all the while, right? Because challenges, all of this stuff, that sharpens your game. That sharpens the weight, that sharpens your time on your running, that sharpens your edge. It makes it more fun. You can see what you're made out of. I love that. It just makes it really, really fun. I do that walking around the lake. It's just like 2 miles. It's not a big walk. But, the first time I did it, 45 minutes. And then I got my time down to 35 minutes going for those two. And I'm doing it with a dog too, by the way, who needs to stop and pee on everything because he's a male dog. That's how they work. And that's how they operate. But I'm doing that. And my goal is to do it twice a day now that the weather's getting better, because that walk is just everything. Add the walking into also the lifting, and also I did bar this morning, whatever it is that I'm doing, adding in these things, because overall athletic stuff brings in your brain stuff. Do you know your brain functions so much better when you're athletically attuned to what your body needs? Your brain it's amazing. So as your body gets stronger, your brain does too. You know what happens if you don't use your muscles? They atrophy. And you might not change in size, but your muscles shrunk and fat's taken its place. So we don't want to do that. And that goes for your brain too. Fat takes its place in your brain. It just your sharpness loses its edge. Yeah, and the awesomeness about outdoor time in it too, and I've been reading about this, it's really good for your circadian clock to get out in the morning hours. Well, usually, here it's cold, but it's starting to warm up. So I really want to do that. And with my thyroid thing, I'm cold all the time. My hands are usually like ice, and so are my feet. And so going out there on that is just not my idea of a good time. So you really am looking forward to the warming up of weather. And doing 4 miles a day, I can add that in. Walking's a breeze, and it's not squats with a weighted bar. So different. The other thing is number 5 is personalized, dialed in diet. And why I'm mentioning this, and I hate the word diet, but I don't know what, food plan, whatever you want to call it. But here's the thing. Every athlete, every person who is concerned with the performance of just their life in general is going to be watching what they eat. Did you know that for every molecule of sugar you ingest, it takes 74 molecules of magnesium to assimilate all of that? So most of people, sugar addicts, are just notoriously magnesium deficient. And when I say sugar addicts, I'm talking about carbs too, y'all, because they all break down the same. So, if you're having toast for breakfast and pasta for lunch and a baked potato at dinner, yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, because that is going to stop, first of all, it's going to stop any kind of fat loss. And second of all, most of us are really sensitive to that kind of stuff, and it just absolutely destroys our motivation for having a dialed up and creative and more juicy life. And that's really important, and this is what we do with the hot melt sprint, because the hot melt sprint just kind of gets us off of all those carbohydrates, but then we have to go in and personalize it. And we have to say, you know what? Can I just raise my hand and say, I hate X, Y, and Z? Okay, I get it. Most people don't like absolutely everything. Most people have preferences on certain things. So where do your preferences lie? How can we personalize this and make it your own? Those are good questions to ask yourself. And the Hot Melt 30 is not just a long hot melt sprint. There is more involved to it because we recognize the whole woman. We'll talk about that in half a sec. Also, the hydration and supplements. You know what all of this does? Is it takes care of the container, your body, so that you can take care of the goals and all the things that you want to attain in your life. It gets you into the place of deliberate practice so that you can deliberately create something that's just beyond your wildest dreams. Because we're all called to that, We're all called to that. That's called purpose. And our purpose doesn't come easily. Our purpose comes when we're listening and when we're aware. That's everything. And then there is rest and sleep. You don't rest and sleep, you're not going to get refreshed. You're not going to get renewed. If you're staying up late and not honoring your circadian clock, your body's going to rebel. And at some point, you're going to have to pay the piper. Do you know that they've shown that people with metabolic syndrome, do you know what that is, by the way? High blood pressure, cholesterol, that's all wonky, meaning that your HDL is up and your LDL, no, your HDL is low and your LDL is up, and high triglycerides. It means that your blood sugar levels are up, And there's one more thing, one more factor, which I can't remember right now. But that's metabolic syndrome. And it leads to an exacerbated and accelerated cardiac stress and cardiac risk. And for women, this is really big because that's the number one killer for women. Yes, excess body fat around the waist. Thank you. A waist bigger than 35 inches for women. Yeah, that's easy. That's easy to exceed 35 inches. It is. I'm right at that mark, and I'm telling you, I'm trying to get it down really, really hard. So, and then number 8 is a killer mindset. Let me bring you in to my world here. When you are using, here, let me show you my latest. This is my journal. It cost me $1. You free write in your journal. You put things in there that help to bring things out. That is good for your mind. It's freeing for your head. And sometimes you just want to write something in there, just like, I hate today. I have one, I don't know if it's this particular one where, yeah, all I wrote on the page, I'm not going to show you the rest of it. All I wrote on the page is, I am a vibrational match to the things that my heart hotly desires, right? We want to be matches to that things. We have to raise our vibe to do it. And that killer mindset is the way to do it. We do that by turning the lens inward and becoming mindful. We do that through meditation. We do that through goal setting, good goal setting. We do it with our focus. Like we talked about yesterday, you got to focus on the right stuff. We do it with visualizations and putting emotion behind those visualizations, with affirmative types of goals, I am goals that we create out of our goals. And if you're part of Take Back Your Life journal, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And we do it with inspiring quotes, because the life we want to lead is the life that we're going to create, period. We have to create it. It doesn't just happen. It doesn't appear just because we want it. We have to go out and get it. So this is, this is just the way it is, because athletes like this that I'm talking about, because this is what they do. They have this kind of a diet. They have their hydration and supplement style. They have their rest and their sleep and a killer mindset, to get this all done. They've worked with greats like Tony Robbins, worked with Tiger Woods. Imagine you're shooting that ball and it's going to hit off the pole and go right into the ground. I've seen him do it. So have you. So, this visualization stuff isn't woo-woo. It's part of the way that our brains operate. It works from pictures. And when we honor that, we're going to get to the next level. And it's fun as all get out, isn't it? So athletes don't just practice, they have clear awareness of each component to the skill they're aiming to improve, and they know what it takes to do so. They know because they're analyzing at all times. They're going back and they're going, I don't think I should have Oreos put on my plan. I don't think that's going to work out. I think I need to eliminate that. And again, not rote learning, while they might have wrote something in their practice, like some kind of stretches or something that they do every day in order to, foam roll or whatever it is that they need to do in order to make their practice better. And this is laser focus is what this is, paying attention to what needs paying attention to. And when we do this with every single detail, it's fun. It's fun to winnow out and figure out what needs a little fine tuning. And that's how you constantly keep the progress going and fine tuning and making it happen. And while deliberate practice is definitely a part of deliberate creation, for sure, deliberate practice is the process part of deliberate creation. You can see that, right? Because the deliberate creation is the goal that we've made in the first place. And it's not I Dream of Jeannie style where you just go boing and, suddenly there it is. It is a lot of sweat and tears and work and grinding it out and having grit, not quit. It's intentional and it requires a lot. And get this, it brings out the big picture and helps us to see there's the missing part, or there's the weakest link. So in the Hot Melt 30, like I said, this is not the hot melt sprint times 5 or 4 plus 2. It's just not. It's not just a plan, because just plans, the hot melt sprint is a taste of what could be and showing you what is on tap for you if you just decide that you're going to give up this sugar-filled lifestyle. And I'm talking carbohydrates, right? Not, by the way, an essential nutrient. You can make sugar from anything, because that's what carbohydrates do, is supply sugar. So what this does is it honors and shows you, the Hot Melt 30 honors and shows you who you are, and honors this whole fleshy container. This is what it's all about. We have to have the mindset piece in place. We have to. And we create what we call morning and evening rituals, so that we do certain things on a deliberate practice every single day to honor the full women of who we are. We can't honor ourselves with just a food thing. That's what the diet culture and the diet industry have done for how many years, and made $60 billion a year off of buy button yours. Just suck you dry. And because they're telling you that your worth is your girth. And I say, forget about it. I absolutely disagree with that 100%. And this is because we cannot divorce ourselves from who we are. We cannot. We have to engage with all parts of us if we are to be the women we're supposed to be. Period. So understand, you're not just your body, you're not just your genes, you're not just your brain, you're not just your thoughts, you're not just a wandering, tetherless soul either. You're all of it, and it's all inside of here, right? This is why we concentrate a lot on the machine when we're looking at the container, when we're looking at like the hot melt sprint and what have you. It's fuel, absolutely fuel. But we have to address the whole woman, or we're not going to get the results that we want. And we have proven that time and time again. Women traditionally who lose body weight, 97% of the time will gain it back, because it's not about the plan. It's about the whole woman. It's about the whole woman. And when we redirect our thoughts and our attention and our focus on the health, the vitality, the vibrancy that we want, the life that we want, the purpose that we want to live, and the people in our lives, when we're focused on that and just becoming the best version that we can possibly be, we can't help but say, yeah, and my diet's crap. I got to fix that. And I got to hydrate some more. And I got to get to bed more sooner. This is what this is about, And then we realize what we really do love more than a carb, for example, is the vibrant life that we can create intentionally and deliberately from saying no to things that just are just a minute on your tongue and forever on your hips. You've heard of that, or however that goes. But the kind of clarity that we want as women who are purposeful is this one, to recognize our whole self and our whole intention. We want to show up for our lives and in the lives of our people, our families. We're not just our bodies, we're not just our brains, and we're not just wandering souls. Period. We are the whole package. And that's why I say, I want you off the carousel of crazy. The carousel of crazy is nothing but the diet culture's way of extrapolating money out of your wallet and making you feel like you are nothing unless you are a certain size. And that is just absolute 100% BS. And I thumbs down that one, right? Pinkies up if you agree with me. So how do we deliberately practice this stuff then to attain our deliberate creation? I've got several things. I'm going to go through them quickly. I didn't realize how late I'm getting with this. Number one is we have to have structure, and we have to have a method. Structure's good. Structure holds up our house. Structure holds up your body. Oh my goodness. Stop. My alarms are going off. It's time for me to get up and do something. Structure is, we use the Take Back Your Life journal because it's a methodology that we can get behind. It's simple, it's easy, and it helps to reframe and grasp, the path that we want to take. Our morning and evening rituals are the structure, and Take Back Your Life is the method. It's I think it's fantastic because it's simple and it's honoring to you and your time. Number two is deliberate practice is challenging and doesn't tolerate the comfort zone. You hear me on that one? Einstein said one must develop an instinct for what one can just barely achieve through one's greatest efforts. Sometimes it's hard. Make no mistake about it. Sometimes there is a struggle involved. Sometimes there are times when you start crying even and you think, I just can't do this. And this is when we have to realize that the greatness within us is in those times of struggle. It's in those times of being on our knees and saying, this is just really beating me up hard. But I'm not going to relent. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to take my place back on the comfort zone couch. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep doing this because there are people in my life that are involved in this too. There's trickle down on everything that you do. There is trickle down. And so, let's take a look at Izzy. This is Amber's little girl. She's 6 months old. What do you think her life is about right now? It's full of curiosity. She's 6 months old. There's crawling and standing up. There's all these things, putting stuff in her mouth. Why do you think she's doing all of this? And, her parents, boy, are they out of their comfort zone, because you are always out of your comfort zone when you're raising a baby. Am I right? They're everywhere and all over the place because this whole world is full of curiosity, unexperienced things. And boy, are they relentless, these little 6-month-olds, aren't they? They're going to get up and they're going to crawl. They're going to rock back and forth. Maybe they're going to army drag themselves through. But boy, they're going to get to that other side to go get the dog and pull his tail, aren't they? That's a 6-month-old. And how easily do we give up? When the 6-month-old is dragging themselves through Legos and every other thing that's on the floor to get to that dog's tail. So this is just how they start up. This is how they're propelled forward so that they can succeed later. And it doesn't stop there. It keeps going, and they keep growing, and they become more and more curious, and they want this world to open up. They're determined to open this world up and to know it. They're driven by this instinct inside of them. We have instincts too inside of us to propel us forward, to help us to find and reach our purpose in life. That's how it works. And this is how mastery happens for us. Endless curiosity, so that we can go forward as full-grown women and start creating deliberately the things that we want. Number 3 is part of this process is rest and recovery. Go full out, deal with everything, and do it as much as you can, but have the good sense to pull back and to rest and to not push it all the time. There is a season for everything, isn't there? Ecclesiastes tells us this. There is a season for everything. And sometimes it's full out and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's rest and sometimes it's not. And back and forth. Allow for that flow. And when we get into that flow and we are conscious of it, we can allow for this a whole lot more. And just remember, all the hard work that you do, it's in the recovery that the muscles build. It's in the recovery and the sleeping that you refresh your body and you're ready for more. And we have to honor that. That's just the rhythm of the way it goes. Number 4 is feedback and measurement are involved. You remember Peter Drucker's famous quote, what gets measured gets improved. And we cannot do this without doing some kind of measurement. It's a GPS of sorts. And the other thing is that what's measured also gets managed. You're going to manage what it is that you're eating. You're going to manage, Jenny and her little fridge. Her little fridge is all set up for Jenny. Resolute Jenny lives here. #Resolute Jenny. But that's her measurement right there. That little refrigerator is her success locker. In it contains everything that she needs, and it's all measured out. And did you see all the burgers that she made and all the other stuff that she did? This is the kind of planning and the kind of measurement that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about peeing on sticks and poking your fingers and bleeding and counting calories and macros and doing all that kind of stuff that makes you crazy. You don't need to do that. What you need to do, though, is be completely 100% aware, in tune with what's going on with your body, and measure that. And while I don't love the scale, it's a place to start, right? But I love the measuring tape. The measuring tape really tells the story, especially around your waist. That's what we want to get around. Number 5 is that everyone needs a coach or a teacher. Listen, we're all teachers, and we're all students too, all at the same time, because there's things that you need to learn, and there's things that I need to learn. There's things you need to teach. There's things that I need to teach. As we teach, we're giving to others. And as we are receiving and being taught as students, we're enriching our lives. It's such a beautiful circle. And this needs to happen. So if you're receptive to being a little bit uncomfortable and being taught, then do it. And if you're just, the same thing goes. If you want to also be the student for this and learn more, absolutely 100% step into that, because that is how our lives get better. That is how we become all that we're meant to be. It's a give and take cycle. And if you're going to deliberately create the life that you want, then you're going to be in deliberate practice. That's how it works. All right. That was a long show. Sorry about that. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it really helped you with some things. This is fun, isn't it? Deliberately creating the life we want to live. I think so. Pinkies up to all of you here. I appreciate you so much. Peace be with you. I will see you tomorrow. Wise Women's Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Check back for new episodes. If you missed the live show, you can always watch the replay. You can find Saving Dinner on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, Pinkies up.